Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video, I'm going to do another 10-5 rapid, but before I do that, I'm in the analysis board, and I'm going to flip to black, and I want to just kind of go back over King's Gambit accepted. By coincidence, in my last video, I was studying this position, just the first few moves really, just to kind of try to memorize it. And then I got a game with that. So I can't imagine that's going to happen again, but it at least encourages me to maybe think about specific openings and study up on them. And who knows, maybe do I pick one a week or one and focus on it for a couple weeks and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe after a few months, you start to get a good feel for the most common openings that I might come across. So, King's Gambit, and my instinct is then to do King's Gambit accepted. White plays knight to f3, and then I support with g5. Now, I'm trying to memorize some of these moves here, and I know it's feeding me the lines up here, but I'm just trying not to glance at them and see what's logical. So this feels good, and I did this in a previous game, and now I can't remember what my opponent responded with, but I remember it was kind of surprising, or I wasn't necessarily expecting it. Let's see. So in theory, the next move is knight c3, so white starts to develop their queen side. My opponent did not do that, and he continued on, I'm pretty sure, with a pawn over here. And this is where I started to get a little bit confused. That's right, I'm remembering this now. I did a bishop move, which, not good for me, definitely good for my opponent, thinking that I would just double up the protections on here. And what the review board suggested I do after this is push that knight away. And in fact, in this position, yep, g4 is the best way to go. Now, if my opponent didn't push that pawn, but instead played knight to c3, I would still, nope. Then I would look at d6. Start to take a little bit of space in the center, free up some space to get my bishop out, things like that. Okay, well, let's head over to a 10-5 rapid. See if we get a game here. Yeah, so my rating for rapid dipped just below 1600 with a prior loss. Then it picked up to 1605 with a recent win. And we'll see what we get here. And just trying to keep an eye on my Zoom session off to the side because in case I have someone pop in to meet me. All right, let's get it on. Egypt. Okay. And what is this? This is Caro-Can? Oh, perfect, yeah. It's also, I'm trying to get the names down too, so I'm going to see if I can't think of them before looking up at the readout. I don't know what to do necessarily in this one, so I'm just going to take center. And I'll take. Okay, so let's try a pin on their knight. I'll back it, see if they scare me away again. I'll move down here, take with a pawn. Think about putting my knight here in the middle. E5. Maybe not yet. Where can I think about moving ahead? Too premature to scare their queen away? Probably so. But maybe their queen will make a blunder, move to one of those light squares, obviously a c8 would be the ideal one for me, setting up a fork. All right, let's see. Even though I'm not sure if I have a good response, I wonder, is there value to me checking just to get their king out of the way? But I don't have a good space to move my knight after the fact. You know what? What do I want to do here? I'd like to go there just to take away their castling privileges, but king moves down. Yeah, I just can't do it, yeah, because if the king moves down, that pretty much takes away any options. I can't go for this pawn over here. I don't really have any good escape squares. Knight's going to get trapped relatively quickly. But even still, if I push up and try to protect this pawn on d4, what am I going to do after a pawn push? Okay, let's see. I know this, yeah, this is risky here. I do have this pawn. 2 attackers on there for black and 2 defenders with white. However, one of my defenders could instantly be taken out with a bishop. Might take with a pawn. And I still have 2 defenders up here. Okay. If I push pawn, you're going to take with a knight. I can still put in that check, but I just don't have a good retort for after. especially if the king drops down to e7. Yeah, I'm already feeling like I'm behind here. Push, take. Yeah, it doesn't really do much for me. But if I retreat, I've got a pawn here under attack, soon to be under attack, and I've got this pawn down here under attack. All right, I'm not happy with this, but I think this, for now, that's what I'll do. Yeah, but they could take this right away. All right. I think I want to take with my pawn. Yeah, I don't know. If I was them, I'd probably just get my king there to e7 anyway. Now if they take, I might move up here. Queen takes pawn, move my queen up, and then start to see if I can't increase the pressure over here on the queen side. Making a rookie mistake checking work emails during the game. Oh, this actually might be okay for me. That's kind of, oops, I'm on the wrong program. I was changing my emails. Yeah, so definitely they're going to take that pawn. I guess I'll push, and I imagine they want to take my bishop, but I guess I'm okay. Their knight is certainly better than my bishop. You know what? I'm going to take with my knight and see if I can't reroute my knight up here. And then if they push over there, All right, now that they've castled, maybe I have got some opportunities to push my king up, slide my rook over to the H file. And maybe I should have done that first before worrying about that knight, but that's okay. If they do a pawn push, I will also push up the F. Okay, they're spotting that same attacking principle, so I imagine they want to slide a rook over. I'm going to do the same. Oh, they're not doing it yet, though. All right, I need to get my queen off of the back rank. I will go there. So my opponent is up a pawn. I still feel okay about my position, though. I think my king is tucked away nicely. I've got a 3-2 majority on the queen side. Of course, my opponent's got a really nice structure over here. I think I'm okay with that. Let's bring in the rook on the C file. I don't want to trade queens, though. Let's see, what is my opponent going to try next? Pushing? King push. A little surprised by that, but that is going to take away that F5 square from me. Okay, let's challenge their queen a little bit. See if we can't have my opponent's clock count down a bit, and I'll try to think on their time. What do I want to do? Is there a way I can do this without trading queens? I might have to, right? Okay. Check. Yeah, why not? If they take with their... I think either way, I think my knight's going to pop up back here to d4, whether it's a pawn or a king. Maybe I've got some opportunities now. They've got a pretty strong center. So let's see what we can do here. I did that a little too quick. Ooh, I was thinking there was an opportunity to take with their knight, which could have been a little bit stressful for me, but... I do have a nice time advantage on my opponent, so perhaps I can stall and hold them off a little bit, put them under some time pressure. Okay. Nope, don't want to go there. That'll give me a fork. Don't want to go here. Yeah, I figure that rook is not doing much on the H file. I want to keep the pressure on them. Obviously, if they got a... I can attack my rook, but I can just lift up. Now, they may decide to pop over here, which is a pretty good square. But maybe I'll just lift up. And I'm not necessarily averse. That could be bad. I'm going to go ahead and drop back and go ahead and encourage this rook swap, which they're not going for at the moment. Okay. Yeah, I was worried that they might try a little sack if I didn't have my rooks on the same file. I'm sorry, the same rank. Of course, I can also counter with my own if they were to do that with their knight. I didn't realize, yeah. And I can also take back with check. Yeah, I need to get my knight here, threaten this pawn. All right, my opponent is down to the 30-second mark. I'd always love to get a checkmate, but I'm not so proud that I won't accept a win on time. Worried that was going to come. Can I check again? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, now just see if I can make some fast moves. I don't think I want to take. Yeah. All right, we'll take. Can I sneak over there? I didn't count the squares. All right, good game. Indeed. Okay. Let's see how that went. All right. Well, I guess minor miracles. No blunders. No misses, but certainly a good handful of mistakes. Yep, holding on pretty well, but my opponent, they kind of took the lead relatively soon and held on to it pretty consistently. Oh, that drops me below 1600. All right, knight c3 is a mistake for sure. Game was close to equal, but now your opponent has the advantage. Gosh, I was really struggling with this one. I thought about this for the check, but I didn't have a good response. So, don't think it's that. Clearly, backtracking was not the way to go. What is a hint? Pawn push. I thought about that one too, but I was worried, okay, so yeah, they do a pawn push. Take with their knight. And I see my little evaluation bar moving up a little bit. Black still has the advantage. And I still have to move this knight. Now they're saying knight c3 on the evaluation. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think really the mistake was getting in that position in the first place. So permitted the opponent eventually. That's true. I definitely knew that they were going to win a pawn. Push again. Queen takes actually is fantastic for me. Queen takes d4. Oh, of course, yeah. That's yeah. Leaves their horse. So they wouldn't have done that. That's stupid. Okay. Rook a to c1. You overlooked a better way to develop a rook off its starting square. Good. I'm glad that was not the correct answer, because that would confuse me on why one would be better than the other. Okay. Over to e1. Target this area. I still have two defenders on this particular pawn, so it didn't need immediate reinforcements. Yeah, I knew that after the fact, because obviously taking there lets them take with their knight, which they didn't do, but still, definitely shouldn't have done that. Push. Then if they take, I can take with check. Yep. All right. Yep. Discovered attack. Knew it was going to be coming sooner or later. Should have dealt with it. All right. Well, that was still. I'm happy with that game, and still gives me more stuff to learn. So opportunities for tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me.